But the truth is that how long can we continue to play politics and tell ourselves, bring ourselves into the clamor and the glitterazzi of a beautiful conference center like this to discuss a subject that is truly hurting the people? The Niger-Delta is actually in trouble. Big trouble. Big trouble because indeed, all over the world, where there's a concentration of production of oil, let's stay with oil and gas, there is always a deliberate structural and normative framework to ensure that you create peace. Let's take Canada. It's structured in such a way that the oil-bearing community earns and shares a percentage of the production. Today, we set up NDDC. It gets 13%. NDDC is completely dislocated from the bearing communities. And so NDDC is a subject, it becomes a federal structure, administers awards contracts based on federal institutions and federal instructions. The real local communities that produce the oil have no say in NDDC. How can you talk about peace? How can you talk about peace where young people don't have jobs? Where you know, like the Chinese will tell you, if you want to create and develop an economy, you start by developing the infrastructure. The Niger-Delta has a stretch of over 1,200 kilometers of the Atlantic coastline with even pristine water sources. And you don't realize that power is the first thing. In ministerial technology today, you actually do not need a non-saliferous water to be able to generate power. In other words, even if you have salt water, you can put a desalination plant and use it to generate electricity. What is the business of the Niger-Delta using gas to power? Gas to power is old technology because gas today has a better use other than using it to fire turbines. If you use gas to fire turbines, it is the lack of the understanding of the vast alternative use of gas. Gas today is used for nanotechnology, biomedicals, and more essential things than in agriculture. How can you burn off your gas when you have huge hydro resources lying waste? How can you call me here to discuss with me as if you don't know what much NDDC gets? Why can't you take a major project and say, let's partner with a very serious company, get electricity for the region, using the Atlantic coastline? How can you talk about asking us to come and discuss what will give us peace and how do we diversify the economy in the Niger-Delta? Have you exhausted the market potentials in the oil and gas industry before you talk of diversification? You don't even have petrochemicals. There's a larger job to be done even within the oil industry. But what is fair is fair. It is sad. It is shameful. I'm a professor of science. And I know, for even my O-level chemistry, modular refinery is cheap to do. If you think that the most sophisticated part of the refinery that is impossible for us to do at this point of time because of our technology, why don't you buy the catalytic topping unit from Japan, JVC of Japan, or buy from Houston? But the local fabrication of a refinery, which is simple fractional distillation, you don't need to import that. For God's sake, we have a Ministry of Petroleum Resources. We have Niger-Delta. You have the fund. These are known technologies. Let me tell you, the Niger-Delta people, the young men and women, they are very patient, they are wonderful people. Because the level of challenge, they have been reduced to want in body and in spirit. So picture a situation in one of the advanced countries, take away that weekly social fund, the social insurance, that guarantees you a minimum amount of money that comes to you every week to allow you to live with independent ease without falling to criminality.
That was Ben Ayade, Governor of Nigeria's Cross River State. Time for a quick break. When we return, we'll find out if collaboration can be a game changer for Nigeria's Niger-Delta region.